Hello, welcome back to the channel. Yeah, this is the roundup. I do this every month to see what's gone on and where I've been progressing, my numbers coming in and out, where things need work, checking all the platforms, that kind of things. Yeah, a bit of a weird one because January is one of those months where it's obviously straight after quarter four, it's straight after Christmas. So in terms of like people buying stuff, it's not very meant to be very profitable. It's meant to be kind of a down month. And I usually prepare for that, usually in the week of Christmas to New Year. I try and over list. I go kind of like really heavy listing. So I can kind of mitigate the dip. Sometimes it works, sometimes it kind of doesn't. But yeah, a bit of an interesting one this month, definitely for sure. Vinted and Depop have surprised me. Specifically Vinted, but like Depop and Vinted have really surprised me. Anyway, so I'm going to go straight into my numbers and just see what's going on. Yeah, so this is my January. I sold 106 items. It's only £2,660 turnover. My ASP was £24.60. That's actually up £2.55 in comparison to December last year. £22.5p, that's December's. My December net was 1,860 and I'd sold 138 items. So more items in December, but with a smaller ASP. The net is 1,860, but my net here is 1,397. It's just short of 1,400. So it's only like £400 less than December. But December sold like 32 more items. So it's a bit of an interesting one. Now my cost of goods was just roughly £3.70. This net is all the fees from eBay and the cost of goods. Yeah, so it's pretty good. I mean, I knew going into doing this review that my fees would be a little bit higher because I set my promotions at 15%, and that was just before Christmas, like the last few days before Christmas, so like the day before Christmas Eve, and I put it at 15% just to really push it, and I left it on accidentally until like the second week in January. I completely forgot that I had it on. And yeah, so my promoted listings, it had jumped, like the fees had jumped. I was like, what's going on? My fees are usually not that high. And then I realised I was about to contact them, and then I realised through the little analytics, I was like, oh my god, I've accidentally forgot to take off the 15%. I mean, I managed to sell a load of items. Maybe if I hadn't have done that, this would have been a worse month technically. But on eBay. So yeah, it's not the best. Whereas like you can see, it's like literally 50% after cost of goods. Like that is almost 50%. I'm like shocked. But then again, if you look at like this is December's, it's like £1,200. That's how much like the fees and cost of goods is. This is my day-by-day play on eBay, and yeah. No real consistency at all. It is all over the place. It is up, it is down. It is just not consistent at all with anything. So like week one is the green one, so it starts off decent. Like these are decent, like returns at £211 day, £100 over £100 days, 145, like £90 just short, fine, £167 perfect. And then this one, hang on, let me just pull that out of the way. They get £138. That's the average I made per day. Stunning, perfect. That is what I expect. That is what I was doing. And in January, I was like, wow, that's really good. I'm off to a really good start. But remember, I was promoting like on 15%. Insane. Plus, I had a coupon running, but I saw like not many people use that coupon. I was like, all right. I think there was only like 2 sales that actually used that coupon. Anyway, yeah, so week 2. Starts off okay, and then I had my best day of the month, £230, really good day. And then all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, the day before was 29, and then back down to 42, 50, 32. It's like eBay turned it off. It's like they said, oh, he's having too much good times, we'll turn it off. And then they let slip, and it went whoosh up, and then they went, oh, quick, turn it back down. It's like that's what it kind of feels like. Average day though 84, which doesn't really make much sense, but that's the average, unfortunately. So under £100, because I think Like, look at those, 32, 29. Just not good enough. Yellow is week 3. Started off okay, went worse, went up, did okay. Really bad, 14.98. Week 4, again, it's just ridiculous. Now, if you look, my Wednesdays were my most consistent day, if you think about it. Like, the last week, I only had one day. I had one day, a donut day, and that was like Thursday, the very end of the month, and I had nothing. I was like, what? That's why that's so tiny, that little one, because it's only over 3 days. But yeah, so these are my day-by-day plays. It just gives you like a visualization. Look at my average day was technically was around £96 a day, which isn't bad when you think about it. It looks scary from all the drops and but the spikes really kind of bumped up the average. Yeah, and obviously like that 3-day beginning of the week is a bit meh. But yeah, so technically my average day that I was making was £96. Now, the only trouble is that I need £100 per day. That's like my basic, like acceptable lowest amount. Obviously that doesn't happen, but that's the amount that I need to pay my bills, reinvest some money, have a bit of fun money, petrol in the car. You know, it's like that day that I'm comfortable with. Thank God for Vinted and Depop and third-party platforms other than eBay, because they have really pulled it out of the bag, and I'll show you why. So this is my third-party thing. I've been doing this for about 18 months, so you can kind of see it's a really nice chart. The red is Depop, the blue is Vinted, and now we've got Etsy. Yay, because we've started Etsy. I've started Etsy, and the first week that I started in the new year, I got a sale. It's only a £20 one, but still, like £19.99, but still. Good. And it was for £1 item. So I was like, yes. Adds up. Third-party platforms. All add up. Yeah, and the purple one is the total. So the purple one is the total. It makes sense, the colour. Yeah, so January this month. Now, okay. So my total, let's just have a look at my total. £933.28p. You can see why I'm smiling, because I'm nearly at 1,000. My aim for this year was to try and get third-party collective amount at 1,000. I really want 1,000 each, but you know, we'll take the win. Yeah, my previous was in August. My previous best was in August at 924, and yeah, there's been a couple of almosts, and that's largely because of Vinted. But Vinted had a better month in October, but the Depop wasn't as strong. Whereas conversely, in March last year, the Depop had an insane month, but the Vinted didn't, because I'd only just started listing on there really for those couple of months, like January, February. So yeah, it was really skewed. But now you're starting to see it go up a bit, the Vinted. I mean, yeah, together. Oh, and with the little added entry of Etsy, it's become my best month. £933. I'm so impressed. So yeah, this is the total in reselling, and because like this month, this month in January, my net, I was like, oh my god, on eBay I've only made £1,300. It's like net, I get it, it's net, it's still good. It's like that's not where are the days? It's like, bring back October, the days of 2,000 net profit, or 1,800 net profit. That would be really good, you know. But look, I've tried to do, like, you can see the averages over the 16-month period. Over the 18-month period, and yeah, total reselling. 2,161, 2,600, 2,200, 2,000, 2,300, 2,959. That's one of the closest going to £3,000. 1,800, 2,036, 2,100, 2,700, and then down to 1,600, 1,800, and then back up to 2,900 for October. So the October and the November for 2023, they were the best months. But I thought I'd done really bad just by looking at the eBay numbers. I was like, oh god! But looking at how good the third party has done, it's really kept it steady. So 2,500, 2,400, 2,300. That's a dip I can manage. That's the dip I can live with. And this is net. This is net reselling profit. So 2,300. That's like, I can live with that. That's absolutely fine. The reason why I can live with that is because it pays enough. If I'm on average per month, making around I think there it can show you I've been making around £2,000 a month net. And so that's what, 24 grand a year net, not including taxes. Obviously you still got to pay your taxes, and that will bring it down to maybe like 20 odd or 20 grand, which you know, when you think that's not a lot, it's like, well, no, but it's a lot more than what I was on. And I'm looking, I found a pay slip here, and yeah, this, wow. I mean, this has got like, you've got the local government pension scheme here, and they're taking money off, and the taxes and the employee national insurance contributions, and it all adds up. Like total deductions, like nearly £165. So I was pulling in £1,198, and then after all those, I was after the month, it's not actually a lot in taxes actually when you think about it. It was 1,033 I was coming out with, and 1,033 is not a lot of money when you look at today. The date on this was 2017. Yeah, so it's not a lot of money. And there were certain days when I first started this job, there were certain days I was earning about £900 because I was on the low. I was doing a lesser job, and then I got kind of like bumped up a bit towards the end, like last year, before I spectacularly quit. And yeah, so 1,300. So it's less. It's like 12 grand. It's like 12,000, like 200, something ridiculous. And yeah, so going from that to that, I mean, obviously it's been a space of like years, but I mean, this was like a 39-hour week plus travel time. So if you think you're traveling, it took like nearly an hour on the bus going there and back. That's 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's 10 hours more. So technically it was like a 49 to 50-hour week. And sometimes I would stay late, and we'd have to come in for like other stuff as well. But yeah, so it was around a 50-hour week technically, doing stuff that you just didn't want to do. You're just bored, and it's horrible, menial local government job. Don't get me wrong, I think the pension's good. Going from basically total reselling at 2,331 from £1,033. I mean, that is a £1,300 extra that I've earned. And I know, granted, the tax on it is probably about, but it still works out about £1,000 more a month what I was earning. And you know, I can't believe like some of the things I was like, this would pay for my house, and it would pay for like, you know, like food and like going, like some of the things that I was going out. I mean, yeah, I did like side hustles as well, but nothing like severe. But like, yeah, it's just seeing the change in money. I mean, I know inflation and everything, and see, the thing is, a lot of like reseller, like particularly YouTube resellers, they don't, and people resellers on Instagram, they don't actually show you the cost of goods. I feel like if people actually shows you the tags with the amount on, people will be a bit like, why have you paid that? Like, kind of thing. But if they can flip it, they can flip it. That's good for them. I feel like cost of goods is like the pink elephant in the room. And it's like a lot of people don't talk about cost of goods, because if they talk about cost of goods, then a lot of resellers who are on Instagram who put up, oh, look what I just flipped. Okay, you've sold it for maybe 35. That's say £20. But then you've got, if you take away cost of goods, then you've got your fees. And you think, okay, so it's like 10% with fees on average. It's like, okay. But then you've got, if you run a coupon, did you run a coupon? Did you promote your listings? A lot of people do promote heavily. I've seen people who've done it, and they've put out this thing, and you think, well, actually, you say that you bought that and you've sold it for that, but the net profit isn't that amount. I'm not like dragging anyone for it. I mean, fine, go for it if that's what it's all right. I mean, I've literally, all technically I put is the cost of bought something and what I sell it for. I don't put all the information of like the promotions, the what's it's and everything. So I'm to blame as well. But I just think people say, be careful when you see something. Just be careful when you're reading people's posts and you think, oh, wow, that's amazing. So yeah, but what were the real fees and the cost of goods? Now I'm going to go over some of the good stuff that I sold. So I'm going to start off with my big hitters. Yeah, the shuffle jumper on the left that I got from London. I got it in a sale. It was £16.50, and it sold. It's probably the first thing that from London that sold, and it sold for £80 on Vinted, which I'm really happy about. And the guy left good feedback and everything. It was like super quick. Another really interesting one, before I went to London, I bought this £5 jacket on the right. It's a Helmand Lang jacket from the charity shop, and yeah, so I put it up for 160. Basically, the guy said on Depop of all places, he says, I'm very serious about this, I want to buy it, would you take 130? And I said, you know what, yeah, why not? Accepted it, sent it off. Within like 3 days he said, got it, fine, it's amazing, I love it, here's some good feedback. I was like, yes. But probably my best flip of the month is this Gears of War NECA. What's it? This figure is a Comic-Con exclusive or a Toy-Con exclusive, and the only thing that's missing is a toy gun. So boxed, you're looking at like £300 to £400. With the toy gun, you're looking at about 200 250 or something like that. I remember seeing it, but like on its own, it's in really good condition, but like on its own, I think somebody got 160 for it, but I think that was in America. Ironically, this did go to America, but I had it up for 135. I haven't changed the price, and I got an offer just before Christmas. I accepted it. The offer was for 100. Then he went and cancelled on me and said, "Oh, sorry, I don't want it anymore." I was like, "Okay, fine." So I put it back up just in time for Christmas, and nothing came of it. And then literally the first week in January, out of the blue, it sold full asking. I mean, there's even a video of me finding out how much it sold for literally on the day. I was sourcing with my mum. You can check it out, obviously. Yeah, so next, these are kind of like the Weird and Wonderful. These are DeWalt pants, and I got them from a charity shop for £5. And these sold within 24 hours. They're almost brand new, and he even said that in his feedback. He said these are amazing pants, they're like practically brand new. But I listed them under pre-owned, obviously, but they were almost pretty much brand new. Anyway, yeah, just the simplest slips. Now the weird stuff. Paper lanterns, or paper lampshades. I think I'd seen one on this, and I can't remember where I saw it, but I thought, oh, that's weird. I got these in Newcastle when I went to Whitley Bay, and yeah, it was an expensive charity shop, except I found these in the bric-a-brac. There was 8 of them, and it basically worked out £1 per lampshade. So I split them up into 2s, so basically £2 per lot, and they have all sold, all of them. Yeah, I know I said £80 there, but one set sold before Christmas, and then the other 3 sold within a couple of days in January. I think I sold one, and then a few days later the same person came back and bought the other 2 lots. So that's how it worked out. So it worked out at £86, but if you add another £28 to £30 on top, because I put them up for 25, yeah, and they keep selling full asking, or like with offers and stuff, and with coupons. So it did come to around £86 this time around, but probably about £6 into like over £100. Amazing. And then these glass Murano corner of the cob things, paid £3.50 each for them. One is sold for £23.49. I found it really funny because Mum was like, what is people buying it for? I don't want to know, Mum, just like leave them. But yeah, that's a glass corner of the cob Murano. Who knew? Okay, some really cool things. A fairy Barbie, obviously. I got that in Stoke for £3. I think it was £3. It was either 2 or 3. Yeah, anyway, that sold. If it lights up, then it was worth more. And thank God it lights up. So yeah, £38.29. Some people have gotten more for it, but I flipped mine within a week or 2. I got a shirt that I've had up for a while. I got it at, ironically, Stoke Car Boot again. And I got it for £1. It's a Warner Bros. One. It's just lush. Yeah, I think it's like 2XL or an XL. Yeah, £36.40. That's sold on Depop as well. The Shrek 4 little toy, Felicia. By the way, these are actually really collectible. There's the boy ones, which are the blue, but you want the Felicia one, which is the pink one. And especially if she's got her little diaper cape thing, I took an offer. It was up for 25, and I took an offer of 20 on Vinted. But I think I only paid £1. It might have been less. It might have been like 50p. But yeah, usually people think, oh, that's just a Shrek toy. But this one is actually really, really popular. And the movie's coming out soon, next year, a new movie. Right, my last thing that I'm going to talk about is these. I paid £5 for this genie jar thing. It's one of those, what everyone goes for, Impala or whatever they're called. Yeah, I could have gotten a little bit more money, but it's not a big one. But yeah, £5 into 46.50 I'm happy with. I think there were a few people who had them up for like £60 and they've been up there for ages. So I was just like, no, I'll put mine up for, I think I put it up for 50 and I got an offer of 40, and then the 6.50 is the postage. But I didn't pay 6.50. I think I only paid like £4 because it came to between 1 and 2 kilograms. Anyhow, yeah. So yeah, 46.50. £3 for this IKEA lampshade. It was brand new in box. I think what they've done is they basically tried to put it up, realised it wasn't as nice as what they thought it was, and then put it in a box and then donated it. But yeah, I got it for £3 and sold for 34.50. That's another one where a lot of people have put them up for like 40 and they weren't shifted. So I put mine up for 35 and then accepted an offer of 30, and then with the 4.50 postage on top. It didn't cost 4.50 post, it only cost like £3, but a bit of an extra. The 1.50 covers like the fees. This Shadow Sonic, I'm pretty sure I got 50p. Yeah, it sold for £64.30. This is only because like the new movie's coming out. I knew it was coming out, so I wasn't going to put it up. But also because of Christmas. I'm surprised it didn't go at Christmas, but it finally did. This is the Sonic X. You want the Sonic X? Is it the Sonic X Boom? That series is really good, and usually you can tell by the way that the shoes are done, or by the way that the gloves are done, and sometimes by the way that the eyes are stitched, but mainly it's how the feet are done. You can tell between the different variations and the different eras. Well, I've sold obviously a lot more. So yeah, all the other stuff that I sold is like, it's kind of boring, sorry. So it's all like very bread and buttery kind of stuff. Like there's a load of like Fat Face, load of Gantz shirts, a couple of pairs of jeans, but nothing like exciting, you know. Yeah, I was actually really happy the first couple of weeks, and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to do so well, and it's because of that promo. But now I'm thinking, hang on, that promo, it didn't kill me in terms of fees, but I was like, ooh, that's a lot. But I managed to get a lot of sales in the first 2 weeks, and then obviously since then I've taken it off and I put it back down to 5, and I haven't changed it because that's what I usually leave it at. But yeah, maybe I should creep it up to like 6 or 7 to try and see what I can do. But I did play around last year with promotions, and it wasn't the best, if I'm being honest. But then the coupon situation is interesting. I feel like certain coupons, they bring people in and then they only get like one thing. It's not like a multi-discount coupon. It's just like a generic, oh, everything's 10% off. You know, I really want to get to like £2,000 net. That's like my target, my personal target. Obviously, like £100 a day is fine for me, for my bills, for everything. That's like the minimum that I would get, and I've been falling below that a lot. But the others have been picking up slack, so I haven't been feeling that panic. Because if you withdraw and look at the macro aspects, technically I'm doing a lot. I'm doing kind of like on average, like pretty good across all the months. So across the past 18 months, it's kind of been like that, but it's not gone spiked high or dipped really low. It's got a nice rhythm to it. The reselling portion of my income, because obviously this is just reselling. And obviously we paid our tax. I paid my taxes for the year. That was interesting. Oh my God, why? But yeah, we've all got to do it, death and taxes. How was your month? How was your January? Was it a dippy month? Was it really like from December, from Q4? Or was it actually pretty good? Did you mitigate the dip? Did you do a lot of work? Because I feel like I did, but then I also feel like I didn't. But then January has been a weird month. It's been a very kind of like, it feels like it's gone on forever. But yeah, February's going to be an even weirder month. I just feel like I don't particularly like February. It's a transitional month. Yeah, where people are coming out of winter, so it's like people are buying different things and changing styles and stuff. It's very transitional month. It's a bit strange. I'm going to love you and leave you. But yeah, comment below, like and subscribe, do all that jazz, and I'll see you all next time.